Good morning, everyone. Today is October 24th, 2022. A little bit running behind on this video here. Welcome to a S&P 500 analysis trade watch video. In this video, I will give you the level and some of the zone to keep an eye on for the ETF, the SPY, QQQ IWM, also the couple of FAANG stock, Apple and Tesla. If time permit, we'll also take a look at the FAANG stock that are scheduled to report earnings this week, such as Meta, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. But if it's not, I will put out a separate video later on today. So stay tuned. So let's start with the SPY here. This is the weekly chart here. So as you can see, we are still in a downtrend here. And also there's a little bit of an intermediate downtrend. And this is a little bit more of a longer downtrend. And this is the upper and the lower range of the expected move. Well, we'll take a closer look at that later on. I want to highlight a couple of the zone here. Here's one of the zone. Okay, and then there's another upper zone here. So those are the zones to keep an eye on. In addition to that, I also remember the Fibonacci retracement from the all-time high and the pandemic low. And we see that the price a couple of weeks ago came up to the 382 and then got rejected, came down to the 50% and got a nice bounce. And last week, sort of in between this zone right now. So right now it's bouncing inside this 38.2 and 50% retracement zone. And before I continue, I just want to remind everybody about the earnings that I've been watching here is Microsoft on Tuesday, Google along with Microsoft. Be interesting to hear some of the narrative from Texas Instruments. We know the semiconductor is kind of weak right now due to the PC and that kind of stuff. So I want to see hear a little bit of the forward statement here and see what is Texas Instruments think of the coming quarters. Then on Wednesday we got Facebook and then also KLA, another semiconductor equipment manufacturer. So probably be interested to find out what their forward guidance look like also. Then on Thursday, we got Apple and Amazon and Intel. Not much of a tell right now, but I think it will be interesting to hear their business outlook. And they are basically getting ready to announce some sort of a layoff in November. So those are the earnings to keep an eye on and be doing a video if I don't have enough time to do it in this video on these what are the market projected move for these earnings from these FAANG stocks. And here are some of the economic report to keep an eye on. This morning, a little bit 15 minutes after they open, we get the PMI flash report here. And on Tuesday, we will get the consumer confidence so we sort of, we're going to get the Case-Shilling Home Price Index. So most likely we're going to see that going down. Right? So, but the key thing is the consumer confidence. Then on Wednesday, we got the trade deficit report. The new home sale will be interesting, and the oil report here. And on Thursday, we got the durable good, GDP, jobless claim. And then on Friday, we had the personal income report there. So these are the economic report that I'm going to keep an eye on, and most likely they probably will create a little bit of movement in the market. And now let's take a look at the daily chart of the S&P 500 ETF, the SPY here. Right now, we're basically looking at this trend line here and also this 38.2 retracement level as upside potential resistance. Now, if you could break through here, then we're basically looking for this weekly expected move upper range. That will be between 388.50 and 385.30 for this week, and see would it be able to come up here for a longer term. If we could get to this zone here, essentially get above this 390 area and get closer to 100 level, then watch for this trend line up near this 410 area. So that would be a sort of a swing trade type of a watch if we could get it up to this level. But on the downside here is that we could get a rejection back down here, and then we'll come down to this lower range of the weekly expected move, somewhere around 363 and 361. So if it comes down to this and watches, there is a gap and also a virgin point of control on the intraday. So watch this guy, virgin point of control. If we fail that, basically looking for it to come back down to this 50% retracement level. And if we break that, then we'll be looking at this pre-pandemic high. So that would be the swing on the downside. Okay, but for the near term, look at these, watch these zone here, okay, for this week, this upper range and the lower range. Looking at the QQQ, you could also see that trying to come up to this 50% retracement level a few weeks ago and got rejected and pushed it back down to the 618. A nice bounce after it dipped below the 618, and right now is basically in the middle of this 50% and 618 retracement level. Now again, similarly to the S&P 500, the SPY, the longer term is still down, and the intermediate term is also down. So we could see a little bit upward movement continuation, and that would be up at this upper range of the weekly expected move. And if it comes down, then we also look at the lower range of the weekly expected move. Now there are a little bit of a high volume zone here. Okay, so that would be near this 61.8. And here is the pre-pandemic high that we're still waiting for price to come down, and tag this 237. So look at the Q on the daily basis here, this daily time frame, as you can see, is bumping up against this trend line here last week. So right now we're essentially looking to see would it get a follow to and come up to this weekly upper range, which is say between 289 and somewhere around 280, 86 area. And also if it pull back, then we look at the lower range of the expected move between 264.80 and 263. So if we look at it in a little bit of a swing basis, if it could come up and hold above this 50% retracement, then we look for a move to possibly try to come up to this 38.2, which is also come up in confluence with this trend line here, somewhere around 310. Now on the downside, if we see it come down and break to this lower range of the expected move and dip below the 618, then look for a move to come down to this pre-pandemic high here, and that would be the swing trade for for the downside. And looking at the IWM, the ETF for the Russell 2000, you can see that right now it is pretty much inside of this retracement zone here between the 382 and the 618, sitting right near this 50% retracement. And again, also similarly to the SPY and the Q, we see this longer term, it is in a downtrend. Right now, it is sort of trying to hold above here and try to establish a base here. But right now, I'm basically looking for a continuation of a downside and break this lower range of the expected move, and then come back down, dip below this pandemic high here, and come down into this zone here near the 160 level, and try to come down and retest this 618. So looking at the daily chart of the IWM, see right now sitting right here at the slightly above the 50% retracement. So for the upside, we'll see would it be able to get above this this little bit of a resistance here, this pivot high, and make its way up to this upper range of the weekly expected move that will be between 180.30 and 178.75. and see if it could come to, then look for a continuation on a possible swing up to this 38.2 or near this 190, 187 area, basically 188, 190 area, or intermediate term swing trade possibility. Then on the downside, essentially look for a break below this 50% retracement and come back in to this lower range of the weekly expected move between 166.65 and 165.30. And if break that, then watch for this move down to the 160, 157 area, and possibly on the swing trade is to look for a move down toward the 618 retracement level near the 152. Now let's take a look at Apple. Apple is scheduled to report earnings this Thursday after the market close. And currently the market is pricing in a plus or minus almost $8 move on earning. And here are the zones here for the upper range will be somewhere around 156.90 to 155.25. And then on the lower range is somewhere around 139.30 and 137.50. So that's what the market is projecting the expected move based on earnings for this week here. And as you can see, Apple is pretty much still chopping around in between this area here, between this 133 and at this 180 area. Now the notable thing is these candle here, these topping candle, more like a shooting star or inverted hammer. And also these candle make a lower high. So right now we're basically looking to see will Apple be able to hold above this 382 somewhere around this 133 level, and which is also this high volume node here, or this little bit of a high volume zone. So if Apple breaks below this 382, then look for this 118 area somewhere around this 0.5 or 50% retracement. So we'll see what it come down here based on some disappointed earning, and then we could look for a potential swing target down near this 118, 120 area. Now, if there's an upside potential, then we're basically looking for Apple to come up and see, take out this range here and possibly move back up toward this 170 level, which is this trend line here. Okay, so that would be upside potential swing target for Apple. Now here looking at Tesla, we see that Tesla is pretty much in between this 50% and the 618 right now. There is a little bit of a low volume zone here down at the 618 near this 172 area here, 172.78. And here's the upper range of the expected move for Tesla. It will be between somewhere around 232 to 228. And also for the lower range, it will be between somewhere around 200 and 196.70. So looking at Tesla price action here, the potential upside move is to see will it be able to get above this 50%. And then come up to this range and possibly push up here to the 382 near the 265 and fill this gap. So that would be the potential swing trade. And if we connect these points here, so that's a possibility of potential resistance here at 0.38. Now, if we could get above this, yeah, then we may be looking at this trend line somewhere around 320 area. But that's a little bit of a stretch right now. I'd be more concentrating in this 382 on the potential upside target for swing trade. And for the downside is come down to this lower range, break it, and come down to this 618, somewhere around 172 or 173, is this low volume zone, and see would it be able to find support and get a bounce back up. So that would be the near-term swing trade, potential swing trade target. If it break this 618, I'd be looking for this zone here, this high volume area here, right near the 140 area. Let's take a look at the E-mini S&P 500 futures here. As you can see, it is moving up, and the pre-market right now is up about a little bit over 27 handles. And you can see that the high here is actually somewhere up at the 38.13 and a quarter. So might see it come up and tag this high. This is the so far the overnight high. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing to make a move up toward this 3900 area. So let's go and take a look at the market profile chart here. Now let's take a look at this market profile chart for the ES. As you can see, at 2 consecutive outside day here for the ES, and essentially it's setting up a little bit of a megaphone type of a pattern here. And in addition to that, last Friday we finished with a pull high and also a little bit of a single print pull structure here. So today, right now, it is already trading up here somewhere at 3790 area. So if we get some responsive selling and look like we might get a gap open, gap up open, then we could see us, come down here and then check this pull high and then fill up these single print. Then maybe we get a bounce back up to come up to this single print and work toward the 3900 toward the this particular point of control here. Not saying that it will do that today, but anything is possible, right? But that would be one possible scenario for the upside. But the other one is, it's continue to move down and tag this point of control. Last Friday's point of control at 3701.50, and then possibly come down and get back into this balance area here. Right? So we're basically looking at this balance area, and then maybe come down and fill the single print. So we'll see how it play out. But because right now it seems like it got a nice bounce back. It was up 43 points, I believe, early in the Asian market, and then it came down, and I think it was down like 13 or 15 points or so. And then now it's back up 28 handles. Definitely, we're going to see some volatility today again. And so with the FAANG stock earning coming up in later on the week, this market will be a little bit wild. So be careful and be sure to smash that thumbs up to give it a like and help promote this video. Thank you for watching and have a good day.